Right, hi guys, it is Sean here, back with another video here on Talk Up TV, and it's been a while since I've done a video actually, because well, it's been 2 weeks at least. I think my last video was about a couple of weeks ago. Wife's had a holiday, so we've taken a break. So yeah, that's why I've not been doing any videos really. But what I'm back to do today is the part 4 of the adaptive cruise control emergency system. So we're looking at how does this car act, because last time we saw something of it, but the situation wasn't quite the right sort of settings or whatever, in terms of actually, what's the word? It wasn't the right setup for it, really, essentially, really, at that day. So we're going to try it again today. It's quite sunny, so we're going to hopefully find a fairly quietish road, if we can, where we can actually put this into practice without endangering myself or or even other people around, if you know what I mean. So yeah. But anyway, the car's been doing really, really well. I'm in the BYD Atto3, in case you're asking which car I'm in. So yeah, I'm in the BYD Atto3, yeah, it's been running really well. No issues at all, really, what I can say about it. I've not been in it overly a lot in the last week and a half or so. I've been more in the other car. But, as I say, I've been using it still. Summer efficiency has been basically what it's been always been, which is just like kind of okay, really. But other than that, software seems to be fine. Car's all operating fine. Still no rattles and all that kind of stuff, And like I've always said to people, if you're looking for a good mid-sized family car, I say this probably in all my videos, really. You probably might be tired of me saying it, but they're good cars, these Atto3s. They really, really are good cars. You've got good modern technology. You've got your sunroof and everything on the top here, which does open up, by the way. So you've got sunroof open up. You can just have the blind back, just let some light in, which lets in a lot of light in the back and front. So it's just an all-round nice car. That's really what I would say about it. I just need to lower this a little bit because I figure my wife has been in here, and it's a little bit higher because she's a lot shorter than I am, obviously. So yeah, so a couple of things that I want to speak to you about the channel. I'm going to be setting up a WhatsApp page for you guys to come in and join me on there to kind of like build a bit more community. That way I can get more feedback from you guys about what kind of videos you want, about either this car or the other car, or just electric cars in general. If I can get a hold of a car that you're interested in, you want me to kind of review or something, I'll try and see what I can do. I'm getting a little bit more traction in those areas, so that's all possible. And what else? So yeah, so WhatsApp group to come. Memberships are up and running on the channel. If you could support me, I'd really appreciate it. They're just 99 pence. So just go to the membership page there and please enlist. Just 99 pence. We'll be doing some more extra. If I get enough people on the membership side, we'll do a few more membership type videos where they'll be a bit different, if you know what I mean. We'll be doing some different stuff on there. So yeah, just 99 pence. That's all it is. And I'd really appreciate it if you could help me out that way. I really, really would. I won't bang on about that. So WhatsApp group to come. And I shall put a link in in the description, if not on this video, on one of the ones coming up, but I'll let you know more about nearer the time once that's all up and running, and I'll just see how much you guys are interested in that kind of thing. So yeah, so anyway, let's concentrate on today then. So as I say, we're going to go off now, find a quietish road, hopefully that's fast enough for us to engage the adaptive cruise control, and then we're just going to see what it's going to do. So I don't know, could be a laugh, this might be a cry, I don't know. You're going to find out what's going to happen. But I think it's important because some systems are very, very good, and what I mean by that is they will actually slow the vehicle down with hazards on. It will pull you to the side of the road, and then with the emergency center up here, it will actually engage and contact them so that they can know your GPS position. So if you fell asleep, or you became ill, or you had a heart attack, or you had, whatever, some kind of a medical emergency, and you were on your own, that you're sort of got the fastest opportunity of someone getting to you, really, and that's quite an important thing. So these systems have been developing. BMW are very good at it, and a lot of the cars are doing it. So on the last software update on here, we had that update on here. Well, what I don't know fully is what it does. Now, what we do know from the last video is hazards come on and the vehicle starts to slow down. But what I couldn't do, because there was a really built up area and a fast bit of road, motorway, was just take that risk to actually, I thought, well, if this actually comes to a dead halt and I'm stuck in the middle, if it doesn't actually take you off to get you over to the side of the road, then that means I'm going to be in a lane, yes, with hazards on. I don't want to cause, you know what I mean? For obvious reasons, I don't want to cause accidents, and that's not the idea of this test. So it's about finding a road that can cope with it, that's maybe long enough to trigger this thing, and just see what we do, just see what happens. So it'd be very interesting to see what goes on there. So that's my hope. That's what I hope it all. We learn something from today. That's what I'm saying. No guarantees, but we're going to try. So next time you see me, we'll be on the bit of road, and we'll be putting this whole situation to we'll be testing this whole scenario. Okay. So see you when we get there. All right, okay, guys. So here we are. We are all set up then, ready to go, and just like on an A road at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're just going to fairly quiet one. I'm just hoping that this is going to work out in terms of us actually showing. So as I've shown you probably in the previous videos, this is your whole adaptive cruise control section. Okay. So obviously here is your lane centering, here's your speed settings, okay? And then down here is how close and how far you want it away from the vehicle in front of you. So you can have it further away or you can have it closer, depending on how you like that setup. For me, I like it further away. So you got time to actually, take over if you had to, really. One of these things with these systems is they are not autonomous driving systems. Okay, so that's the first thing to remember with these. They are not autonomous driving systems. They are just there to provide an aid for you, which what that means is that in fact they are there for you to they're there just to help you, really. So on motorways, things like that, you put the cruise control on and they're just there to help you with your driving. You don't have to keep having your foot on the accelerator and your hands on the steering wheel and all that kind of stuff. So this is an A road, so it's not the most perfect road to do it on, but I'm happier to do it on this road than what I am, say, on a fast motorway where cars are flying up behind you. That's what scared me the last time, really, if I'm honest. So right, so let's engage it then. So the way we do that is we get the lane centering on there, okay, and we also get press this button here, which resumes it in. So you've got that there, and then we can get the speed up to 50, which is what this particular road is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my hands off the wheel, and we're just going to see. We're just going to see what actually happens with my hand off the wheel, okay? So, all right, so I'm not engaging with the car at all, unless I absolutely have to. As you can see, it's a bit jerky. Hey guys, the videos I do for you guys, eh? Oh, come on. Right. So a car's just pulled out in front of me, so I'm going to have to hold on there. So the trouble with when you hold onto it is obviously it's going to disengage the it will obviously disengage the so I'm just getting that reset to have a distance between me and myself and the vehicle in front. Right, so hands are off the wheel. Yeah, so every time you touch all this, it obviously disengages the length of time you don't have your hands on there for the emergency stuff to kick in. The emergency stuff is going to kick in. All right, now we've now got a red light coming up. So red lights is on. Okay. So we've got red lights on. Oh, I just went to pull off there. Well, that's not good. So first warning there then, as we come up to that slight bend, and it was very slight, the vehicle decided it was going to veer off. So that is, I'm not happy with that at all. I'll be honest with you, because in an emergency setting, if you'd gone off, I would have gone off over into that lane. So that would have been pointless. So we just need to get a section of road that gives a good depiction of how we can use this system the best, because I think what's happening at the moment is there's probably not enough white lines there to do that. So, but we got plenty of road to go along, so it's a long bit of road. So okay, we're going to have to get our speed down a bit there, because we're coming up to a 40 mile an hour camera section.
Speed camera reported ahead,
as you hear there. But these systems, of course, are not meant to do this, but this is obviously because in the last update they'd updated the safety systems for emergency adaptive cruise control. It's got to be tested. It has to be tested at some point, because at the end of the day, you know, that's what you're going to be using, if you know what I mean, really. So you've got to kind of use it. It's all over the place on this bit of road. So the steering is just not centering very well at all there. It's a nice bright day, and all that kind of thing. Anyway, let's see how we get on down this bit of road. So we're coming up to a roundabout, so we won't be able to use it here. And then I know we're going to come up to there's another section on the other side where we might have a long enough bit of road to really test it out. If it keeps doing the jerking thing, guys, I will be honest with you, I will have to abort. I'll have to abort and report back to BYD as to this is what's happening. You know, so adaptive cruise control is on, but it's veering me off the road. So you know, this isn't a test for BYD, by the way, as a company or anything like that, because they've done their own testing. But it's just for the users like myself and you, my subscribers. I want to show it to them to see how it's used and what's the best facility of it and everything like that, you know. So right, let's get to there we go. So let's get it back up to 50 again, 50 mile bit of road. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my hands on the wheel for the minute until we get to a section, a nice straight section where I feel I can use it to the best of its ability, if you like. So there we go. You know, it's funny with adaptive cruise control, because some level 2s are very good in some cars and it's not so good in others, you know. And one of my feelings has always been with BYD that they've not set themselves out as a very autonomous driving focused company. But at the same time, because of the way China is going in terms of their own, well, basically just in terms of their own status of the country in terms of where autonomous driving is there, which is growing all the time, and there's a lot of companies really heavily focusing on it. BYD will have to have some kind of involvement on that and have to be proficient at that, because at least for their own home market, if you know what I mean. So which I know BYD is a global company, and so that's their most important pitch, if you like. But even so, even with that in mind, they still need to have proficient cars that way. So they need to start getting into that thing. And this car was never built to be a self-driving car, obviously. But at the same time, we still need to see, so how does it do in all these settings and everything. So what we're doing now, we're going to take the hands off. We're going to see how we get on down this stretch of road and see what happens. Now, I'm just worried about that jerking off. I don't like that, but we'll see. It shouldn't really do that, but it was doing that, so we'll see. Right, so we're getting the first warning. First warning is in. Okay, it's carrying on. First warning still. We should start to get the second warning in a minute. It's been quite long now. So if you'd passed out on the, if I'd passed out now, so my hands are not on the wheel, well, how is the car going to, right now it's starting to do the hazards. Hazards are going, it's pulling down, and then it just cut off. Right, okay, so what we know then, that's interesting, guys, because what we found there is that it, blinkers come on, and it cuts off. The blinkers come on, you get a little bit of a slowdown, and then it just cuts off. So that is what I found with that. What we'll do is we'll try to do it on the way back, and we'll see what happens on the way back if we get the same treatment. Or, but from as far as I was concerned, my hands weren't on the wheel. We were doing 50. It cut down to 45 and down to 40, so it was slowing down, and the blinkers get a little bit more erratic, and then it just seems to cut off. Which, if that is the case, then it's pointless. You know, that would be pointless. So, but what we'll have to do is we'll have to turn around on this bit of road, and we'll do it on the way back and see what happens with that. Luckily, there was a little pull in there as well, which was quite handy for that side of it. But so there we are. So we're getting to see what would actually happen with this car. So far, it doesn't look that promising that it would actually be of much use in an emergency situation. It looks like it's just going to literally, wouldn't be a system I'd trust, I don't think, from what I've seen so far. But we'll do it again on the way back, but just in case, you know, well, just in case, we'll just see what happens. It just seems to cut off when it gets down to about 40 miles an hour. That's what I saw, what I thought I saw. I mean, the flashing lights will alert people behind you, but that's not going to be any use in an emergency situation where you've either passed out or had a heart attack or a stroke or some kind of medical emergency whereby you can't now drive, you're incapacitated to drive the car and you're on your own. That wouldn't be very helpful. So what we've got to do now is we've got to see if it does the same thing on the way back. If it does the same thing on the way back, we have to deduce that, you know, I wouldn't rely upon the emergency side of it. And so what's my views of this car overall in terms of its adaptive cruise control? I would say it's perfectly fine on motorways. I found it to be no problem on motorways. It will lane centre, it will go along at the speed, keep a fairly safe distance. When you come up to sharpish bends, obviously even on motorways you get some fairly acute bends at times. I would say you'd have to be a bit wary of it, be ever ready to actually take over if it starts to, in particular lane centering part can sometimes cut off, and so therefore, you know, the steering's now out of control. So so you have to still be very wary of it. But if you're going on a 3 or 4 hour journey on a motorway in this, and you want to have the adaptive cruise control on to just take that bit of, you know, just to take that bit of pressure off of the driver, just so you can relax a little bit more, then it's usable, I would say. Anything outside of a motorway and this car, which they are predominantly meant for, really, to be honest, you're not supposed to be going around down country lanes. Even on this particular road, which is a straight A road, it has white lines, but only in places. And I think some of the problem it's finding is when it doesn't have the white lines either side, then I think that's where the issue comes in for this particular car. Yeah. Right, let's engage it again now then. So we're going to put it down to 40 because 40 is actually the speed along here. So that's engaged. The great thing is it stays engaged even though you're braking and doing your own thing. Once you get like the other side of a roundabout or something like that, you know, you just literally touch that, you just put this up and it engages it straight away again. It doesn't actually cut off unless you turn it off. So it actually remains on even when you're going through roundabouts, or even if you're taking over yourself to do a bit of driving, you can still engage it very quickly. So we're doing 40 now because 40 is the speed along here, but I won't test it along here because we've got quite a sharp bend coming up, so that would be pointless. But we are coming up to excuse me, sorry, I'm shouting. We are coming up to the section which we did on the way down. So there's a nice long straight bit of road, and it'll give us a good opportunity to see just how we do along there. Right, so let's get the speed up now to, we'll do 50 along here. It gets up so quickly when you do change up as well, which is another thing I don't like about it, because now, like, see, that's really quick around that bend. I think on the Skoda, it kind of adapts to the situation. So if you're coming up to a road like this is example, if you're coming up to a sharpish bend, it does take everything into consideration with the cameras and stuff. Right, so hands are off the wheel again. Okay, we're on the straight bit of road we were on before, just going back the other way. So there's cars behind me, which is a bit of a shame, because they're going to wonder what I'm doing once the old things kick in. So one more try, guys. If this doesn't work, as I say, then I'm going to abort it, and I don't want to start. Oh, actually, there's a police car up there, so I better not. There's actually a police car pulled in, doing speed checks. So I don't want to alert. I don't want to, obviously, what's the word? Be doing such a thing as this. They wonder what I'm doing. So with hazards coming on and slowing down and all the rest of it. So with a camera car there, we won't do that for now. So what we do is we carry on. We'll try and do it on a further up section. Do speed checks, I think, average speed checks. So yeah, so we won't do it there. But what I hope to do is try and do it on the other section, the other side, and see what that does. Sorry, it's quite a long video to show something which actually isn't a very long duration thing, really, because it probably is around about 30 seconds plus to actually engage, to start the initial engagement, and then it's not so long after that it will start to slow the car down and everything. Right. I feel all stressed now. No, I don't really. But it's interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. Right, so let's engage the... we've engaged that. It's back engaged. Okay. Let's get the furthest away point for the car in front. So it's keeping me from a safe distance from the car in front. It's managing to do that. I'm doing 40 and a 50. It's set to 50. So it's doing that all right. We're kind of a fairly sharp bend here, so I don't want to really overdo it there. Yeah, I'm not happy with this section of road to try this out, so we're going to have to we'll keep it all engaged. I shall just yeah, this car is not picking up the lines too well there. Let's just see what it does here. Okay. Right, so I've got to engage the brakes now. We're coming up to a roundabout. Now all this here disengages, of course. Yeah, so you take over, totally fine. But then what happens is, when you get to the other side, when you want to engage it again, okay, so just say you were using it on this very road I am actually testing it out on, all you do is the center button here, just touch it up once and it's back engaged again. So it's now going to increase speed to the it's going to increase speed to the to the right speed, if you know what I mean. Right, so we're going up the hill. There is a speed check up here in terms of the a speed camera. So car's just pulled out. Let's see how it deals with that. Not bad. It's decreased well. Hasn't veered off or anything, which is also good. So that was pretty good. The car in front decided it was going to just pull out in front of the pair of us, which it did. And so obviously in normal circumstances that wouldn't be an issue, but with this system you start to worry a little bit. Is that going to be okay with that scenario? So, okay, right. So let's have a little look and see. Fairly straight bit of road. Hopefully, we can manage to do it along here. It's not centering very well. I think what it is, guys, we may have to try something else, maybe in another video, where I just find a perfect setup for this test. This should actually be all right to do it. But right, so we've got the double yellows now, right? Okay, so that's there. So yeah, I've got a car right up behind me very tightly, so I just cannot do it along this bit of road, I'm afraid. It just wouldn't be safe. They're going to wonder what on earth is going on, and it actually reduces speed quite sharply as well. But I think what I would say about it, from what we saw on the way down, let's go gauge it by that. Okay, let's turn this off for a minute. What I would gauge it by from what I saw on the way down is that it seems to engage, yeah? So we get the hazard lights come on, we get the reduction in speed, the sound of the beeps gets much, much faster, but when it gets to 40, which is what happened, it seems to just cut off. So I might send an email off to BYD, so watch this space, and just ask them what actually should be happening during a emergency scenario with the adaptive cruise control on. The adaptive cruise control is on. You've had a medical emergency. What should happen with the car? And then I want to then, if they say to me it should bring it to a stop, pull over, or whatever, then I want to see that happening. So we'll test it again. So we might have to do this a video another time to really fully see it. But I think you saw enough from the video there to see what actually happened. I didn't touch anything. It just dropped right down in its speed and then cut off. So I'm pretty sure that it could just be the setting. Maybe a motorway would act differently. I really don't know. The reason why these things are emergency settings, of course, is because that's when you need them in an emergency. Otherwise, you would never use them. But I just wanted to try and show it to you guys. So I hope this series of videos have been a bit helpful. And if you've got any questions about the adaptive cruise control or anything like that, please do let me know, and I'll try to answer them. So just drop them in the comments down below, and I'll try to answer them. And as I say, look out for the WhatsApp group. I'm going to put that in the description, so you can come along and join me in on the WhatsApp group. So yeah, and become a member to the channel if you can, and please do like and subscribe, which helps the channel to grow. Of course, I'm on the road to 2,000 subscribers. I'm not too far off that, so I really would appreciate probably about 80 subscribers away from that or something like that at the moment. So if you can subscribe to the channel, would really appreciate it. And please do, if you know someone with an Atto3 or an interest in this car or Chinese cars in general, then please do pass me along to them as well, and share my videos to them, please. And anything you want to know about this car is more or less on this channel now. There's loads and loads of videos on this channel about all the different aspects of how the car is, ownership reviews, etc., etc. So please go back and on the channels and have a look, and just see what you can find on there. So thanks a lot then, guys. I shall head on out now, and as I say, I don't know if we perfectly saw really what we did, but we did have the hands off the wheel. It reduced speed and then seems to cut off, which is actually kind of like strange, because obviously if you're in a medical emergency and it's just going to cut off, it's going to ultimately completely fail on what an emergency adaptive cruise control setting should be doing, which is obviously bringing you to a stop at least. with hazards on, but at the very least it should actually get you off the lane. I was watching a video the other day on a VW, one of the VWs, and it slows you down, brings you onto the side road, or brings you over to the side at least, and then slows right down to a halt with the hazards on. So, which is kind of what you're looking for. This seemed to just cut off at 40 miles, around about 40 miles an hour. I'll look back on the video and just double check, but about 40 miles an hour, it just seems to cut off, and that's the end of it. So, which is actually useless, if we're honest. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I shall catch you on the next one, and yeah, stay tuned. I've got a video coming up on the Skoda, on the sort of 6-month review of that car, and I probably might even do another review of this one coming up as well soon, because it's been a while since I've done a sort of overall view of the car after so long, which I think those ones are quite nice videos, because it's one thing to pick up a brand new car, you know, and all the rest of it when you just picked it up and you drive it home and you charge it for the first time and you drive it. It's also nice to get an update when it's a couple of years in. You know, is it still charging? How's the charging going? How's the car driving after that time? Any rattles? Any of these sorts of issues coming in on the car? Have you had to have any work done to it? Has it had to go to the garage for anything? All those kinds of things. So started to build up a picture of a longer term view of how the car is. So that's another video I make will do on this car as well, coming up soon. So 1 or 2 videos coming up. As I say, just had a little break there for a couple of weeks, but back to it now. So there'll be more videos coming, in the next few days and weeks on the channel. So thanks a lot, and I shall catch you on the next one.